Hello and welcome back to Harry Shoots People. Recently, whilst looking for a new point and shoot camera, I stopped into a charity shop and found this for £10. It's the Olympus OZ76 Zoom. What drew me to the camera initially was the panorama mode, which is indicated by a switch up button on the front, which crops the viewfinder into a panoramic display to give that effect. The camera is pretty much fully automatic. It has a zoom lens that goes from 36 all the way to 76. It has date modes if you want your date stamped on the photos. It has automatic flash, but you can also turn it off and also use a fill-in flash, and also it has a remote timer. Complete with the panorama mode that I discussed earlier, I thought this was too many features to pass up for £10. And that night I decided that I'd take it to the Made by Italia exhibition and see if I could snap a couple of pictures just of my friends and just see what the camera's like in a darker setting. Initially what I noticed is the camera does take quite a while to take the actual pictures itself, and the flash almost has to warm up for a second where it'll fire off a couple almost warning flashes preemptively. Anyway, here are some photos that I took that night. I took a couple of test pictures of my brother when he came to visit on this as well, testing out the panorama mode and just how it works as a regular point and shoot. And then me and my friend Connor decided to go on to a walk into the peaks with his dog, so I took quite a few pictures that day, just seeing what it was like in a more natural light and seeing how it fared up against pure daylight. I was shooting Kodak Gold 200 just for all of this, and here's how the pictures came out. So did the Olympus OZ76 hold up, and did I get the panoramic effect for only £10? On the whole, yeah, I was pretty impressed with how the photos ended up coming out. Naturally, with any new camera, figuring out the autofocus is a bit of a challenge, so a couple of the images were out of focus, but on the whole I'm pretty happy with the entire roll. I really like using the panorama mode. It gives the images a cropped, more cinematic look, and I think that's due to obviously the aspect ratio. And I like the feeling of the images, so this can be used for a more interesting project down the line. I was pretty impressed with the images from the walk as well. I feel like the camera captured the environment pretty well. The Olympus doesn't have the sharpest lens in the world or the greatest colour rendering. However, I was pretty happy, and the images have a nostalgic feel to them, akin to most point and shoot. I decided to test out the fill-in flash as I never shot one before, so I used it on both of the portraits of Connor. I enjoyed using it, however I don't think I'd use it consistently, as it does give the images quite a natural look to them. Speaking of flash, the camera only messed up once when deciding whether to use flash or not of its own accord, and that was with this shot. Priorly, the image was lit pretty well, but the flash was left on auto and it decided to use it. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. I felt like the image looked slightly better before. However, once again, user error, as you can choose to have the flash completely turned off. My favourite images from the roll are this one of George, this image of the cows, this photo of a landscape. I really like the composition and the lighting in this one, and this image of the dogs. I'm a really big fan of the difference in focus, and it reminds me of Dido Moriyama's photo of the dog, and he's a photographer I take massive inspiration from. So in conclusion, I'm pretty happy with the Olympus OZ76, and I really enjoyed experimenting with the panoramic effect. Hopefully there'll be more images to come out of this camera in the future, so if you wanted to see those, maybe consider subscribing. If you enjoyed this video, why not give it a like? Thanks for watching.